Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Dear Radio. It's your boy, Dear LeBrankston, and welcome back to another story time segment where we bring in awesome guests to talk about their story and about what they do. You already know I got my best co-host with me. I got Dear Mykel and Dear TKD2. How we doing, fellas?
Good, man. Doing good.
Doing great, man.
Good,
the
man.
boys on here, bro.
Yeah.
Doing good. We're doing good.
I know. Don't spoil it yet. I still got to introduce
them. My bad.
God. Anyways, like before TK gets too far, we always bring on a guest for the story time segment and always wrap it up with a word of the week. So like I said earlier, tonight we have another spectacular guest with us. He's a YouTuber, Disney enthusiast. Give it up for our friend Cam. How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Good. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. TK's been talking very highly of you the last couple of weeks, trying to get you on here.
I'm excited for it. Thanks for having me.
Nah, it'll be fun. But before we do every storytime segment, we always talk about word of the week, and we wrap it up with a word of the week. This week's word of the week is guidance. So for you all and also our listeners, just think of that word in the back of your head. Like I said, we'll wrap it up at the end of the week or at the end of the show. Talk about what guidance means to us and how we can almost inspire people with this word moving forward. So, but I always talk too much in these intros. Cam, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about where you're from and what you do.
Yeah, so Dad was in the military, so moved all over the place. That's how I met these guys right here in Fort Knox, Kentucky. But yeah, so lived all over the place, went to school at FAU, and then moved up here to Orlando about 5 years ago. That's where I really started, the whole social media, YouTube thing, and just kind of been grinding at that since.
That makes sense, man. I know, like you said, we all kind of have similar backgrounds of moving around, traveling, military brat. So it's been cool to have like a full circle moment where we can kind of like pick next guys that we want or girls we want on the show and have real authentic conversations with you all, because obviously we're all trying and striving to be better and do things that we really want to do aspirational wise. So it's always, like I said, it's always fun to have these full circle moments to be able to do that. And I think, you're killing it. TK is also doing gaming. LeBrankston's doing gaming as far as YouTube goes. And they're locked in on that craft and continue to build that as that's continued to transcend over time. It's been around for a while, but now it's starting to, in the last 4 or 5 years, starting to really break the ice. And obviously as a YouTuber, like tell us what sparked like your passion to become a YouTuber. Like how did that journey even lead you to the realm of, and then how did it even lead you to Disney World, from starting YouTube and then obviously getting to your point where you're Orlando. You're like, okay, well, I'm here in Orlando. How can I best utilize my way to actually be a YouTuber or a philanthropist in this way and be attached to Disney World? Like how did that all come about?
So kind of a generic answer, probably how a lot of people started all this, COVID. Just bored at home and just trying to do things to fill time. So honestly, it all started with TikToks, just making, little videos here and there. And then they just kind of started to pop off. And it was just kind of something for me to kill the time, have fun. And once I noticed it kind of, pop off and, gain followers and the views go up, it was kind of like, oh, you know what? Like I can actually, do something with this and have some fun. And I would just get comments, here and there. Hey, start a YouTube channel. And if you would have told me, 6, 7, 10 years ago, you're gonna have a YouTube channel, I would have said you're crazy.
Wow.
There's no way in hell I'm gonna put a camera in my face, and there's no way any of that's gonna happen. But here I am today. So just start with that, and the whole Disney thing is, I've been going to Disney since I was a little kid. Being a military brat, it was always kind of like home away from home. Dad would come home from deployment, we'd go to Disney. It was kind of like summer vacation. All my family is from Florida, so it was just kind of an easy place to go to. Aunt worked for Disney, which was nice because either we got military discount tickets or she would get us in for free.
Okay.
So it was always something that was easy to get to and easy to plan. So kind of I've grown up with Disney in the family for a while, and then moving here, I had internship here in 2020 for Disney. That's why from FAU came up here for internship. COVID happened, so I stuck up here and. Stuck in the apartment for those months that we were all on lockdown, and just was bored, filling time, making videos, and eventually was like, you know what, I'll buy. Actually, I didn't buy a camera. I just filmed with my phone. I was like, I'll do a YouTube thing. If it doesn't work out, whatever. At least I tried. Did a couple of videos. They did well. Looking back on it now, hella cringy. I'd be like, why the hell did I even post that video? But in the moment I was excited. It was just fun to like learn something new, filming,
Yeah.
editing, falling in love with something. And then from there, just seeing other people in the same kind of niche, make videos that kind of inspire you to, do something yourself. You're like, oh, that was a cool idea. I'm gonna, not copy that idea, but take that, put my own little twist on it. That's kind of like the
Right.
motivation side of it, and it's just with theme parks and travel in general, there's always something new to showcase, and that's just kind of something that motivates me. Whether it's oh, a new destination that I want to go visit, or is there a new ride coming to a theme park, and just trying to go out there and showcase it to people because don't get me wrong, theme parks are expensive to go to, and it's a lot of money, and not every family can afford to go. So my real reason of starting it, besides the funny little skit videos that I would do in the beginning, was kind of bringing the theme parks to people at home that couldn't go, and just kind of giving them that experience. Now they couldn't get the whole experience; they're not actually there. But it was just kind of something that I was like, you know what? It's nice to like, hey, come along with me. I'm gonna show you guys my day in, Universal, Disney, Six Flags, Busch Gardens, you name it. And just kind of, bringing that to them.
No, I mean
That's
it's
huge.
super amazing. That's huge, right? It's super amazing that
Yeah.
you brought that up. Like the attention to detail, learning that you kind of had a connection with the opportunity to be a part of Disney for a long time, your aunt's there, and then being connected to that. And then obviously not even just that, just loving it in general. So,
Yeah.
like talk about that, right? And this is what I would suggest for the audience too, right? Like when you're trying to find things that they really want to be passionate in, they're trying to find ways to
Mhm.
just be creative, right? It's also when you're doing entrepreneurship, it's all about finding solutions to problems, right? Like
Mhm.
Cam just said that his real main goal outside of just doing skits and having fun with what he was doing attached to something he loves, he found a problem, right? There's a problem where most people can't afford most families can't afford to go to a theme park, right? But he knew, okay, well, maybe they could live through my experience and maybe we can kind of have a shared conversation, a shared connection, a shared solution to what it looks like and what they can look forward to by the time they do get ready to do that, right? So it's like you found a solution to that. And now people are loving your content just because you're actually sharing your ideas, your thoughts, your enthusiasm with everything you're doing and like hints and secrets about obviously just everything that you love and enjoy about it. So it allows them to feel more connected to it through you
Mhm.
when they actually get an opportunity there. So like talk about like the beginning, right? Like when you first started, like I think people have misconceptions like, oh, well, Cam is this person at this point now, and obviously going to continue to grow and grow. But when you first start, it's like talk about it. Like you don't really know what you're doing, but like it. Some people might think like, oh, he knows what you've been doing it for a long time, but it's never like that, right? So like, what was those thoughts when you first started? Like, how did that translate to like? Was it when you got one that kind of popped off? You like, okay, now I'm gonna keep doing it, like you kind of said earlier, or was it just
Mhm.
I don't really care. I'm just gonna keep doing it regardless, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, I just kind of enjoy it. Like, what's the
Yeah.
process and mindset about when you first started doing it?
So I'll be honest, even now I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like I'm just,
It's,
it happens, right? And
Makes sense.
you
Makes
just go
sense.
out and do things, and you put videos together, and
yeah,
social media is crazy. You will plan a video weeks in advance, months in advance, and you hit all the stuff you want to do. You post it, it flops, right? And you have videos where you don't, you think about it for 3 seconds, you film it, and it's the video that goes crazy, and you're like, what the hell's going on? But the whole start of it was just kind of, like I said, bored at home, was gonna make some
yep,
videos. A couple of them popped off, and it was like, okay, I might be good at it. And then you have those, everyone has them. You have those negative thoughts, like your mind starts playing games with you. It's like, okay, is it me that's bringing in the views and all this, or is it the actual content? Is it just Disney theme parks in
mhm,
general? That's, oh, I'm just talking about this, and I'm just a random guy, and people are enjoying it. But then you start to get messages online, or you get comments, and they give you that feedback of like, okay, like it's not just the content I'm bringing; it's me personally, and my personality, or however deliver the video. Um, but yeah, I will say beginning it was kind of just winging it, having fun, and then once you kind of go through that process, you kind of figure out what you like to do with videos or different pieces of content, and then you kind of narrow it down. Okay, this stuff works for me. this type of stuff doesn't. Because one thing for someone might be great. If you try to do that same thing for yourself, it might not work out for you. And it's all trial and error with social media. Even today, like there's videos I post and it just doesn't work. I'm like, all right, cool. Scratch that idea off the list. Don't do that again. And other videos where they pop off, you're like, okay, let me look at that video again, figure out how I did it, and how can I spin it from this topic to this topic over here and see how it works. Like I said, for me, I'll be straight up, I'll be honest, it's all winging it. It's just trial and error. Things work, things don't. And it's probably a very bland answer, but it's the reality. It is what it is.
It's facts.
Facts. I mean,
It's facts.
I'm keen to say that too. I think a majority of people don't know what they're doing, right? I think even the wealthiest person, I'm pretty sure there's times Jeff Bezos don't know what he's doing, but he still obviously created a multitude of what Amazon is today, right? Now, you obviously got inspiration and things you desire to do, but the day to day is always going to change. So it's, I wonder, what it looks like for everybody. And I think that's just kind of I think that's the calm in the storm. Like, it's okay to not know what you're doing. As long as you stay consistent, something will happen. And I think that's just the main goal of just being a creative. It's just don't stop. Whatever your momentum is, just continue to build off of that. And something will snowball into something else. And then you start finding new inspirations through that. So, I mean, you hit it right on the head. I think you're right. And I'm glad to have an authentic conversation about, what the reality of that is, right? Because most people don't think that's really true. So, no, thanks for that.
I'll be honest, consistency is key. Because, these apps, Instagram, TikTok, if you take a break for a week or two, they're gonna punish you. Like, it's just like, it happens, and it's weird, it's crazy, and life happens. You can't always be creating content and do stuff like that. But I've seen it where I took time off of YouTube, and it was like just like work. Life gets crazy. Took time off of YouTube, and then was like, you know what, like, I was really missing it, and I was like, I want to go back doing this stuff, and posted the first video, and it was just like, I mean, it did fine. Like, anyone else posting it would have been fine, but me, and I know myself, you get down on yourself, and you're like, damn, like, why didn't it do well, right? And we all go through those things, but it's just one of those. Consistency is the key. It doesn't matter what you're posting, what you're talking about, like whatever niche you're in, whatever you like to do. Consistency is the most important thing, and the more the app sees you post, the more it's going to be like, okay, we'll push out to a few more people here. We'll push it out over here. We'll push that over there. And it's just the biggest thing. It's hard because life does get in the way. So, trying to do, an actual, your life job and then doing this on the side, it's a lot of work, but in the end of the day, it's rewarding once you start seeing all this stuff come through.
So true.
True.
So true.
No, but wrapping back into Disney, this question is a very important question and decides how the rest of this podcast is going to go. So answer very wisely. Like you said, you're a military brat. We're all military brats. Like, I've been to Disney World a lot. I don't know if TK or Mykel have been to Disney World a lot. I used to live in Tampa. I went to school in South Florida, so I used to be a season pass holder. I used to go. I actually went a lot during COVID, so that was fun. But
it was, I mean, besides the mask, that was the best thing because it was dead.
Yeah,
there was no one there.
Exactly. There was no one there.
But in the 100-degree weather was not a fun.
Yeah, it was sick. It was so much fun. Like, no one was there. The lines were short. The lines were spaced out. It was kind of cool. But what would you say is your favorite Disney park?
Overall, or here in Florida?
We'll say here in Florida. I don't care about California.
Okay, here in Florida. Okay, gotcha. All right. So here in Florida, I will say it's a real toss-up between Hollywood Studios, and Epcot for me.
I knew it.
I know. I put down in my nose that Epcot's my favorite, so I'm glad that's in your top two. So I'll take it. Why those two? What makes those two special?
So Epcot, I just have always liked it since I was a kid. Just kind of how everything's different. You can travel to countries, so it was cool because, like, being a military brat, we always travel, right? We're moving constantly, all this stuff. So it was cool to, like, go see different countries, like Germany. Oh, I lived there, so it was like kind of like going back home per se. But then, like, going to different countries, like, oh, I visited Italy, going to see Italy. And it's cool how they, like, when you go to those countries, they have people from those countries working there. So it's not like you have, a kid from Los Angeles working in Germany, and he's like, "Do you want a beer?" Like you have people from Germany, they have accents, they're from Munich, whatever. So it's really cool. Now during COVID, it was different because people couldn't travel, so they did have random Americans just working in different countries. But I always thought that was a really cool aspect that Disney put in is like when you visit those countries, people working there are from those countries, so it feels like authentic. And then as I got older, obviously drinking around the world
Yes.
is a lot of fun. So that's always fun to do. Expensive, but it is fun. And then for Hollywood studios, I've always been like I love movies. So like in the old days when it was MGM and just doing like the studio tours, seeing the back lot, that was always fun. And I love like Star Wars and stuff like that. So Galaxy's Edge is a lot of fun. Tower of Terror, classic ride.
Classic.
I just like the whole like Hollywood vibes. It's just a lot of fun. So yeah, those are top two. You ask me tomorrow, I mean, they're still the same top two, but I might say Epcot tomorrow. Hollywood Studios, they always flip. But yeah, those are solidified top two. And
how's
Magic
the new
Kingdom's actually last, I'll say. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Dang, really? I didn't
Wow.
I thought
Yeah,
Animal
just-
Kingdom
go
would
ahead
be
and
last for
explain
you.
that.
No, I love Animal Kingdom. It's chill, it's fun. But yeah, Magic Kingdom's last because it just when you go and you park there, it takes 10 years to get inside the actual park. Like you park, you have to get on a tram from your car to the security. You either go on a boat or the monorail. By the time you
Yeah.
park and get to the park, it's been an hour. And it's like, all right. And I live here locally, so it's like, do I really want to waste an hour like of my time like getting into the park? So it's last for that reason. Once you're inside the park, it's different because like Magic Kingdom's a staple. That's why everyone visits. But yeah, I always tell people it's last on my list, and they're like, "Why?" And I'm like,
That's why.
12 years to get into the damn park.
I like that.
Yeah.
No, that's why I put Epcot at number one because I feel like Magic Kingdom's just so overwhelming, and there's just
Yeah.
so
So-
many
and it's so
people, so many
packed.
tourists.
Mhm.
Yeah, so packed. Whereas like
You get
Epcot,
those
like you can
strollers,
get in
man.
and out. Yeah, don't even get me started with the strollers.
Hey,
I'm
man.
trying to figure
Epcot,
out where'd you parked at. Like if you were at Mufasa 7-Eleven or whatever it is,
Exactly.
you got to remember well, which Disney character did I park at today? Which row? And
Yeah, and if you go to the
Oh,
wrong
man.
section, then you're screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed. You
Yeah.
got to wait for the little tram to get
Yep.
back, and then at that point, you should just sleep in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's tough.
that's so true. So true. Speaking on that, right? Like going into, obviously the magic of Disney World. Like what's a great adventure like you've had on that stands out to you that like this is why like you love Disney World so much. Like it could be from childhood or to now. Like what
Yeah.
adventure kind of sticks out to you? It's like, oh yeah, this is why it's a magic place. Like what can you kind of share a story of what that looks like to you, or like what time
Yeah.
you shared like
So overall, I would say it was just big in like childhood because it was that like home away from home. Like when dad would come back from Iraq or whatever, it was always like
Yeah.
okay, like he comes back like when we go to Florida for the summer or out of school, like we're going to Disney World. It was always just like something we would look forward to, and it was like I wouldn't say few times, but like being military brat, your dad's not always around. Like he's there for you, but he's not always around because of work, and you know how it is. So it was that real time that we could just be all together, family of four, hang out. Whether we went to Disney World or we went to Disneyland Paris when we lived in Germany, it was always that just like this is our family time. Whether besides holidays and stuff, it was just kind of like that, and it's always just kind of had a little place in my heart. But there was one moment where I remember. I would say two moments. One, I was probably 6 or maybe 5, 6. And I barely remember it, in my brain. But videos of family videos, family photos. You used to be able to ride in the front of the monorail, so you can't anymore because I don't know when it happened, but 2 monorails crashed into each other. Unfortunately, people I think did pass away.
Sheesh.
But you used to be able to ride in the front. So you used to go up there. It would be like your own little section. It'd be you, your family, and the driver. And then like they would give the kids like little pins or certificates or something like, oh, you're an honorary monorail driver.
Yeah, I got one.
So having those like videos as a kid, it was just like looking back on those. It was like one of those like core memories. And then
Yeah.
the other one would be when I moved to Germany I can't believe I ever did this. Like looking back, because I was always like moving so much. Like it was a love-hate relationship because you're leaving your friends, but you want to make
Yeah.
new friends, right? And so I remember we moved to Germany, and my mom was like, "Hey, the teens club has a Disneyland Paris trip, and they're going." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, really?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we all should go." And she's like, "No, no, no, like it's just the teens. Like you go on there as a chaperone. Like you go with these kids." And I didn't know a single person. Like it was like 2 weeks before I think like football started, so I didn't know anyone. And it was only like 12 and up, and my two neighbors were both 11. And I was like, damn. I was like, well, I'm not gonna know anyone. So my mom, she tells me this story all the time. She's like, I felt so bad. She's like, I threw you on a bus to Paris. You're 12 years old. I threw you on a bus to Paris at midnight
That's
with people
wild.
you didn't know, people I didn't
Wow.
know. And she was like, but I just wanted you to, make friends. And I knew that, we all love, going to the park. She was like, I, figured you'd love it. I was nervous as hell, man. I was
I'm already,
didn't know
I'm
any.
already
I'm getting on the
knowing.
bus. People have their friend groups already because people like when you
Yeah.
move somewhere new, everyone there has their friend groups, right? So I'm walking there as a new kid, like I sit on the bus by myself. I have like my snacks. I have like I don't even have a phone, like right because German, like, I don't have a phone, so I
Yeah.
just have like I think I had
Yeah.
like my PSP or something, and I was just playing Madden or something like that by myself, taking naps. We stop at the gas station. Um, I walk in the gas station. I still don't know anyone. Everyone has like the little cliques, and I'm just like, "What the hell am I doing here?" And then like I got to the part we got in our group, and I used to be like a little scaredy cat of like roller coasters and like Tower of Terror, but our whole group was going on Tower of Terror. I had never been on it before. Like every time we went to Disney, like my mom and my dad would sit out with me, and the other people would go ride. And I remember
Mm.
everyone's going, and I'm like, I just like looked, like just thought to myself, I was like, just don't be a bitch. I was like, just don't. But I was like, everyone's here. Like, you can't be the new
Fuck
kid,
it.
right? I was basically just fuck it, right? Just go. And I went on, and I had a blast, man. I was just like, well, always remember that. And I came off, whatever. It was like a day trip. So I think Paris was like a 6, 7 hour drive from where we were at in Germany.
Mhm.
In the bus, whatever. Again, no contact with my mom, so she has no idea what's going on. She has no idea if I'm just,
Wow.
by myself. I mean, she knows I'm with people, but like if I'm just in my little corner, just with myself. And so I
Right.
come back, and she said she was all nervous as all heck, right? And so I got off the bus, and she said my face was just like grinning. She's like, "Oh, it's the best trip ever," blah blah blah. Um, just it was one of those like all time like Disney memories that I always had because I know going into it I was like, this is gonna be
That is crazy.
terrible. I'm gonna hate this because I don't know anyone. And then I came back
Yeah.
and I had, it's so easy to make friends like when you're like younger, but like when you go into it, you're so nervous because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like do these people think I'm cool? Do these people think I'm weird? Like I'm the new kid. Like
Yeah.
how are they gonna treat me? But yeah, it was end of the day. It was fun. But at first I was like, man, screw this. I'm so scared.
That's that military life, man. That's why.
It
That's
is.
why stuff like
You
this
get
is so
thrown into
easy
it.
and whatnot. That's you had
Yeah.
to do that shit. Your mom was like, "Nah, you gonna have to go on there, bro.
There you
You
go.
gonna have to
Yeah.
ride that ride. You gonna have to make some friends." That's why the tight knit like military brats and whatnot. That's why everything's so easy for when it comes to us. We're talking to people and all that. So that's
Yeah, because
a
it's been
crazy
so long.
experience.
I was about to say because it's been so long since we all talked to each other, but it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
feels like we're back
yeah.
at Fort Knox like 2 years ago.
Telling
It
you,
doesn't
bro.
feel that long.
Telling you.
I ain't gonna hold you. You better than me, Cam, because to this day I ain't trying to get on the roller coaster ride.
I know
Brother.
he still don't.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bruh,
You're not gonna
that's
see me.
crazy,
I'm not
bro.
Look, I'm cautious about my life, and I try to do things that don't allow my life to be at risk.
I feel that.
Obviously, like I'm still pushing it by getting on the airplane, but like we gotta get other places, right? So
I remember you told me
can't
that
get too
the
fast.
airplane thing is ridiculous.
Ridiculous,
I remember
right?
you was
But
freaking out when you were going over to Paris when you were at UK. I said, "Bro, if you don't take that, go ahead and go."
I wasn't tripping about that. I was
No, you was
tripping.
nervous, bro.
My first plane ride, I was nervous. My second plane ride, I was nervous. But by the time you saw me going to Paris, I was not tripping about that trip, bro. I don't
No,
believe I'm
my
nervous.
uncle.
He was tripping.
Okay.
My uncle's
Nah,
like 50 something. He hates plane rides. Like he has to get like drunk as shit to get on a plane.
I'm
And I'm
cool.
like, dude,
I'm cool
man,
with
you're
plane rides.
50, man. Like what the hell? Like he's like, I just don't like it, man. The turbulence. I'm like,
I would throw up if I got
I
drunk and
get it.
shit.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
saying
that's
drunk
crazy.
and then the
Nah, I
turbulence.
can't
Like
do that. Nah, cannot.
No, they had a couple of years ago, back in like 2010, 2011, the Rockets drafted like a first round draft pick, Royce White, I think his name was, and he was like definitely afraid of airplanes. They tried to like make it to where like he could ride buses and everything, and eventually never even played an NBA game. He just ended his career right there. He was like, I can't take it anymore. Which then actually was
I would suck it up. I would be honest. If I get drafted in the NBA, I'm sucking it up.
I feel like you kind of have to. But then like it was cool with him because I think he ended up like paving the way for like the NBA like mental health and awareness like program too. So that in all is kind of cool if I'm correct. But also at the same time, I'd be like, hey man, I'm getting paid millions.
I'm taking that.
I gotta figure something out.
You gotta
just put me on a P-Jet, bro. Private by myself. I'm good.
Private?
Yes.
I mean, we'll get there. That's tough too. but
private's nice, bro. Private's
nice. So I've heard, right? I ain't never. I'm gonna get a first class real quick, and then I'll go.
Nice, bro.
I go private.
TK's like 4 or 5.
It's scary at first. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, what the? This small ass plane, bro.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah, small ass plane.
There's a lot of different size privates though, right? It's like a.
I've only been on the small one, bro. Cheap private one for my cousin, bro.
Yeah,
and that shit is sketchy as hell. Love them to death, though. If you listen, love them to death, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta get that destination, man. You gotta get that destination, man. I ain't gonna hold you though. I skydive. I don't know why, but I would.
That's on my bucket list. I want to skydive.
Do that shit too.
I don't know why. I don't know what it is about roller coasters.
I want to do that shit too.
I'm not on that.
One of my buddies told me he would rather bungee jump than skydive.
I hate when people say that, bro.
No.
Nah, not with the wire, bro. If the wire step is over, if you jump, you already know
you're by yourself. You're by yourself with the wire. At least skydive. Skydive. Someone's with you, man.
And when you jump out, it's. I mean, you already know it's over unless that parachute comes. Bungee jump, it's going to snap and.
And we did not condone anything that we're saying.
Yeah. If you like to bungee jump, that's okay.
Yeah, do you. You do you.
Yeah.
That is sick, bro. Hey, but when you was in Paris, right? Like, was that Disney World or was that like what do they have overseas? Which park is it?
They have Disneyland Paris.
Disneyland Paris. Okay.
Yeah. So there's Disney World, Disneyland in California, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo Disneyland, and then Hong Kong.
Crazy. So like, what to you? Like, what do you think those two parks set apart? Like, what's the difference? Is it the actual animated characters that kind of sets it apart between world and land? Like, what do you think is the real differentiators between those two?
So it's more like architecture. Like buildings are different. Obviously, when you go overseas, the culture is different. So for like here in America, like. For Magic Kingdom here at Disney World, and then like Disneyland Park over in California, it's a dry park. Besides, like if you go to like a sit down restaurant, like you can order a beer, but like you can't go up to like a stand and be like, "Oh, I want a beer," where you could in like Epcot, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. But when they built parks over there, alcohol is part of the culture, right? Not that alcohol is not a part of the culture here in America, but like it's like in Paris and it's we're having lunch. I want wine with lunch. So when they opened, they had the same rules they had here, and so foreigners are like, whoa, we can't drink. Like what the hell's going on, right?
That is true.
So now they have where they can drink there. So it's kind of a weird thing to go over there when you're accustomed to here, and like you're seeing someone like right next to the castle with a 6-pack of beer, and it's like what the hell? But it's their culture. But that. And the rides in each park are different, which is cool because you're not like if you go from here to Disneyland or Disneyland Paris, like you're not seeing it's not a carbon copy park. It's not like why am I wasting my time here in Paris if it's the same thing in Orlando, which is nice because everything has something different. All the castles are different, so they're themed after like different princesses and stuff like that. The rides, so like every ride, like they might have the same ride, but there's variations of the ride that are different. Like for instance, like when Splash Mountain was here and in Disneyland, ours here is like I don't know how many rows, but you're sitting with someone, right? So it's like 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Disneyland it's just like a 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. like their Pirates of the Caribbean is different. So it's cool because not everything's the same. So you can visit different variations of everything. But I'd say more like how like architecture is, everything's themed differently. The layouts of each park are kind of different. So it's not like you're going to the same park in a different country because that would be like kind of boring. It wouldn't serve a purpose to go to those different ones.
Sure. Which one like wins your heart? Like which one is like is Disney World more of a cam than Disneyland, or is it like does it depend on the year? Does it depend on the experience? Like what which one is like more?
It depends on what day you ask me. I feel like Disney World's always gonna have a special place just because it's where I grew up going, but Disneyland is just, I would say, in every aspect of everything, rides, food, everything is just so much better because they're more of a local park. Like no one comes out of no one comes from Germany or England or France, wherever, to go to Disneyland. Because it's more catered to locals, so they flip things around more often. So it's nice to go over there and just kind of like, I'd say, like get a breath of fresh air, see something different. We're like here, things change here, but not a lot changes because it's the top vacation spot in the world. So they want to keep everything the same, so that like when people come and visit, everything's the same. So I would say like I love Disney World, but I think Disneyland just does everything better. Now that also is coming from me because I live here. If I didn't live here, my answer could be different. Where I'd be like, "Oh, Disney World's better." But Disneyland's a lot smaller. So like we have 4 parks here. They only have 2. And so it's a lot more like, I guess it's a local park. So there's a lot more like homey feel to it. And it was also the first park. So there's like a lot of history with like Walt Disney and all of that, which is really cool.
We're ever gonna see you dress up as a character and do a YouTube?
I don't know. I don't know. You won't see. I'm not on that scale, man. I'm not on that scale. I will promise you that. I will. There is levels. There's levels to the Disney, fans, and I am more of the like. I enjoy going to theme parks because I like rides and stuff like that. And there are people who are. I will buy every piece of merchandise. I will dress up as my favorite character.
Next level.
Those are people who give us a bad rap because
I can see
it's
that.
like you look at those people. You see those people and they're like 30, 40, 50, and they're like
okay.
And they're they see the castle and they cry, and I'm like,
that's a little extra. I always thought that.
I'm like me. Just put me on a damn roller coaster, man. Like I just want to go have fun. Like, and so like it's funny because like. I'll go on dates with girls and they're like, oh, like what do you like? I'm like, oh, like theme parks, and they're like, oh, like you a Disney adult? And I'm like, no. I'm like, do not put me in that damn category. I was like, that's a new level. And they're like, okay. I was like, I just enjoy going to theme parks. I was like, I like rides. I like going and enjoying like the atmosphere and just having fun with my friends. And they're like, okay, good. And I was like, don't worry. I'm like, I'm not one of those. I say freaks. Because don't get me wrong. Some of my friends like do all that and. All power to them. That's what you enjoy. I'm not going to knock you on it.
Yeah.
But no, you will never see me do that.
That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious.
Only time I'll dress up, I'll do Halloween, man. Halloween party, I'll dress up for Halloween party.
See, I'll have a good
time. I'll have a good time with that. But other than that,
bucket list for sure. I need to come down there. I might have to actually make a move
because
I want to do that.
You guys ever done Halloween Horror Nights at Universal before?
No, I've heard of it though. I've never been, but I know that shit's wild.
Bro, it's like a damn party, man. People just get used drink and you go through haunted houses. It's just I don't know if you guys like that kind of like. I used to hate that shit. I'll be honest, man. I used to.
You radio experience, man. You come down there.
You would never catch me in a haunted house. It was never. You told me, like I said, you told me 5 years ago. You'd be like, "Oh, Horror Nights is your favorite thing." I'd be like, "You're fucking crazy, man."
Yeah, but I can see that though. I can see that though. Why it just be lit the whole time? I can see that.
You just go with your friends. You have a good time. You drink.
Yeah.
I ain't doing none of that. But if there's a group effort and we need to do that for
the experience, bro. When we go, IRL part of this, bro. It's one of that.
I ain't against that. I ain't against that for the viewers, man. If y'all call me like by yourself, we off air. I hang up. You know that.
I do. But I'm not mad at that because you're honest.
For sure. But now that'd be fun, man. That'd be fun. I mean, I asked that question earlier about the character because I would assume like obviously, like I didn't think about the right side of it, where like you said, there's people like really grown that's doing that, and they're crying as if like it's taking away more, as if they are Walt Disney, right? Like, but
exactly.
I would assume like dressing up as a character and like doing it on live or doing like YouTubes about it, like each character like maybe once a season, once a year, something like that. That may bring a different audience that want to be around you more or just want to view. So I was thinking about like a business side of it and just kind of doing that experience. But now that you kind of detailed that, I see why not why not.
Yeah.
There's definitely a business side of it because you'll get the views. Don't get me wrong.
Hell yeah,
But it's like
100%.
but then that thing's on the internet forever.
Morals.
Man. It's just like
Morals.
your boys get one screenshot of that, you're done for life. Like you're done.
Certain things you can't do.
Because in the fact that you're like, damn.
That's why you laugh.
My boys get a hold of that.
That's his ass.
Hey, I find one photo I'm keeping in the vault for 20 years.
Yeah.
For a rainy day.
I do the same thing. I find a bad photo of my boys. I'm like, nope, that's in my thing forever.
I'm really his Xbox profile cam.
I am.
Because a drunk night with John Box is in the photo too, bro. Shout out John Box is in the photo too, bro. At a fucking bar. Wow, man. It was a great night. It was a great night. I will say that.
But I guess moving back into more serious things. You talk a lot about like COVID and the lockdown, and no one really knew what was going to happen. And like you said, like TikTok really kind of blew up. YouTube Shorts, YouTube videos in general. Everyone started making social media content, whether that was on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like a lot of stuff actually. Like I tried to buy some stuff just for my computer. A lot of that stuff was already like sold out because everyone was literally doing it. So talk to us about like your creative ideas in terms of how you kept stuff fresh in COVID. Like obviously, like when I made a couple YouTube videos and a couple TikToks during that time, but obviously mine was gaming, so I could do that all within the comfort of my room. But like for you, like how describe that creative process of what went through your head during that time.
So for COVID initially, like it was just kind of like funny skits, like making fun of stuff, like for theme parks, like whether it was good or bad. But once like everything reopened, like theme parks reopened, for me it was more kind of like showcasing, like, hey, here's what's going on in the parks. Here's the rules, regulations. Here's how empty the parks are because no one's coming. Obviously, it was pandemic.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, but like as a local here, like I mean, don't get me wrong, there's so much stuff to do in Orlando, like you cannot get bored. But at the time, like the theme parks were one of the first things to open, so it was like, all right, I go to the theme park and sweat my ass off, or do I just sit at home? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go to the theme park. So it's just kind of showcasing like what the parks were like, and it was, I'll be honest, it was easy to do because don't get me wrong, bringing a camera in public, all eyes are on you. You put that thing up right here, everyone's like, oh, who the hell is that? Who's filming this, right? But it was easy because no one's there, right? You could sit at a table. There was a couple thousand people in the park, but the parks are so big,
crazy.
People were barely walking by, right? So that was like the ease of like getting into it, and it was just kind of getting that, being comfortable with filming in public, which is a lot harder than you think. Just because like you have the camera and like people walk by and they're just like giving you weird looks, which you learn like they're gonna forget about that 10 second look in 30 seconds, right? They're gonna forget about you and by the time they take a right turn. But it was just kind of showcasing that like, hey, here's what everything's going on, here's what's open, here's what's not open, here's the process of everything. You had to book, you still have to book park reservations, and stuff like that. And then it just kind of grew to different things, and like some things that really popped off for me was kind of doing like fun little like challenge videos, like, oh, how many rides can I do, like when the park first open, how many can I do at night, how many can I do in a full day, can I ride every single ride in a full day. I did one 2 years ago, actually end of this month it'll be 2 years ago. I did all 4 parks here in Disney World, flew to Disneyland, and did the 2 parks there in 24 hours.
Dang.
Dog.
Which was
I watched that one too.
It was fun.
That's crazy.
But I hated myself the week after because I was beat. Like I was like, oh, it'll be easy, like whatever. But it was the flight is what screwed me over because I, did the 4 parks here, slept, had like a 6 a.m. flight to LA. You're on that flight for 5 hours, and that's where I just lost all my energy. But luckily I have some friends in California, so like I wasn't doing it by myself. Like if I was doing it by myself, I think I would have been like dragging through it. But like I had friends who were like, "We're so excited for you to come," like blah blah blah. But just doing different things, and with a niche as big as like theme parks, there's so many people covering it. Like you go to a theme park and you see everyone like filming on their phones or with their um like, big cameras, or they have the new like DJI camera, um, and everyone's filming. So it's just kind of figuring out what works for you, and everyone's
Yeah.
reporting the same things. Like, okay, cool, something new got announced. All right, well, everyone's gonna report it, right? Oh, a new ride's coming to this park, a new land's coming to this park, a new theme park. Like Universal's opening a new theme park next year, and it's just kind of you're gonna get the same information from everybody, and it's just gonna kind of drown people out into like you're scrolling. They're like, oh, new land, oh, new land, oh, new land. It's like, all right, it's putting your own little twist on it to grab that person's attention in the first 5 seconds, because once you have their attention and like pushing things out throughout the video, like especially like TikTok, because people's attention spans nowadays is you have 3-4 seconds. If you don't hook them, they're gone. They're swiping.
Like 2K.
So just changing the background, even if you're talking about the same thing, just the green screen, change the background, just kind of trick their brain and keep watching. But little tricks like that, just to try to stand out from the rest of the people, and just because everyone, like I said, everyone's doing the same content, everyone's doing the same thing. But it's hard because, like I said, everyone is doing the same thing. So it's just kind of flipping that switch and being like, okay, you know what, that worked for that person. We had the same idea. I was just about to film that video. How can I put my own little twist on it to give it more of a personal feel to me that my followers can kind of understand?
For sure. And like it's funny that you mentioned the camera thing, because I literally tell TK and Mike that the whole time. Like I was talking about like, man, because we talk about doing Dear Radio like episodes on YouTube, just like going out in public, doing stuff like that. And I was like, man, we could go play pickleball, bring a big camera over to pickleball courts, and people are just going to crowd us and like just be like, what the heck are they bringing a camera to pickleball courts? And even we did some stuff this summer. We went downtown Lexington, and I wanted to show them the new Two Keys bar. So we walked in with the camera and everything.
Yeah.
And people like gave us a weird look. They're like, oh my God, who are they? And it's funny. It's just like, we're like nobodies. But they're like, oh my God, what's up? Like, hey, what's with the camera? I was like, hey, don't worry about it. We filming stuff. Don't worry about us.
Exactly.
And we just walked right out. But it's funny that you mentioned it. It's like crazy the fact that even like me holding a tripod selfie stick with my iPhone connected to it, people still go, hey, what is that guy doing with that camera right there? Yeah. Like, what is that? So no, that's funny.
But the amount of like, go ahead.
I was about to say, is that matched with the fact that we all had like a uniform, so to speak, right? We all had like the same T-shirts on. So, like people were like, oh, they probably somebody. Yeah, you know that. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting dynamic when you actually have that experience. But like Cam was saying, you just kind of, if you want to do it, right, you kind of just get in a mode where like you got to cut out distractions of, obviously you might look goofy, you might not, but people going to think about you this way. They're not. Either way it goes, they do the same thing. They're just not doing it in public. So it's like, you just might as well take the risk to just, go all in for what you want to do and see where it goes. So, but yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off, Cam. Like, you can go ahead with that.
Oh, you're good. I was going to say, like the amount of like followers and like subscribers I've gained from people. Like, I just had a camera and like, oh, do you do like YouTube, social media? I'm like, oh yeah, like here's my, handle. Like, okay, cool. Boom, on the spot. They just follow me. And it's like, oh, cool. And then they'll message me later. And like, I always like, don't get me wrong, will never say I'm big. I don't think I'm, big on social media at all. You can give me 1 million followers and I'll still be, as humble as ever. And it's just always cool that like people will message me and be like, hey, I met you at the park today. And like, I don't meet a lot of people. So it's like, I know I met them, but like, it's just cool to see that message. Like, hey, I met you today. Thank you so much for like taking the time to just talk to me and take a picture or something like that. And that's the weirdest thing, like ever. It's like people will come up and they'll be like, you're Cam, right? I'm like, yeah. And and they'll be like, oh, I follow you. To this day, I have no correct answer on how to respond to that. I'll be like, thank you. Cool. Like what? But it's cool. Like it's awesome, right? Yeah. But it's just, it catches you off guard because you're not expecting it. Yeah. but like I said, bringing the camera in public, like it's scary at first, but the amount of followers or subscribers you'll get because people are like, oh, what do you do? Oh, YouTube. Oh, what's your thing? And people will follow on the spot. They're like, okay, cool. But it's wild. It's a fun journey, but it is a lot of work. And people think like, oh, you're just making videos. Like, yes, at the end of the day, I am making videos. It's not crazy hard, but like, people don't see like the behind the scenes effort of like,
the thought in it.
The plan the video, the editing, the time it takes for everything, because all they see is they see the finished product. It's the same with sports, right? Everyone just sees, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. They just score them. Oh, they're so good. Well, why are they good? They put in the effort, they put in the work, and on practice and stuff like that. But yeah, it's rewardable once you have those people in public that come up to you and you're like, oh, I've been following you for years, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, and it's like what you said. It's like people just see the finished product, but even for myself as like a streamer / video game like YouTuber, like just thinking of an idea to make a video or a stream of, that's just tiring in general. Like even for like us, like trying to figure out like, all right, what idea do we want to bring on this podcast? That even picking out the word of the week is exhausting. Just trying to figure out just one little word to base off our podcast off of. But yeah, just the idea, like the idea of creating the video, you're like, oh man, that sounds like a great idea. And then you're like, well, now I got to shoot it. Then I got to edit it. And especially like if you don't have an editor and you got to edit it yourself and like do all that stuff and then go through the whole rough draft, look at it again, do the final draft, uploading it all, creating a thumbnail if you want to create a thumbnail, just the whole it's fun, but like just the whole process is so tiring. And then you're like, well, that video took me 3 days. Now I got to work on this next video. And you're just like, it's an endless cycle. But I mean, like what you said, like I don't really have a big following yet, but just for me, like it's satisfying just to make and being able to say, hey, I did it. Like this is fun. This is fun doing it. I'm having a blast. Like, yeah, it may be annoying in the moment, but like me seeing my videos out there on like TikTok or YouTube and even getting as much as like 5 comments and like 8 likes, you're just like, wow, like people I don't know actually like my video.
Yeah, people recognize it. And it's like, when I started, like it was never something to do to this extent. It was like, oh, I'll just do it for fun. And like now from like, YouTube and TikTok, like, do I get paid from it? Yes. Do I make a lot of money? No, I don't make. It pays the bills. I'll tell you that. All it does, it just pays, electricity, Wi-Fi, rent, stuff like that.
Hey, that still means something.
It does mean something. But it's cool to be like, it's something that I love. I can, make money from it and stuff like that, which is really cool to see because you put all in that hard work, and to see it, come full circle and people are enjoying it, people are liking it, commenting, sharing, messaging. That's the craziest thing is like people will message you and the people you meet through all of it. Cause all the different creators that I've met is everyone's doing the same thing, right? Like even with like, gaming and stuff, like, okay, NCAA drops, everyone's going to put videos out, right? Madden drops, everyone's going to put Call of Duty, right?
Yes.
But it's just, how can you put your own little spin on it? Because, you scroll through YouTube, TikTok, everyone has like, videos of, especially, for gaming, it's like, oh, my road to glory of my player, right?
Yeah.
But it's just honestly like the biggest thing that I've noticed is, and I hate to say it because, you can put, time and effort and, weeks into a video, right? And you have a shitty thumbnail. Your video can be an absolute banger. You put a shitty thumbnail on it, people aren't going to click. Thumbnail is one of the most important things to do. And I've learned that like the hard way. I've clicked on people's videos and even like friends of mine that made videos and I'm like, okay, that's awesome thumbnail. Click on it. Video's shit, right? And I'm like, but the video has like, 20, 30,000 views. And I'm like,
crazy.
How the hell? But that's the biggest thing because
that's so true.
It's just getting people's attention. And it's just, with YouTube, the thumbnail, with TikTok, it's that first, 2 seconds of getting people's attention. And it's just, hooking people's attention is very hard these days because people's attention spans, like I said, is very, very slim. It's, same videos, music, artists put out music. If that beat doesn't hit in the first, 15 seconds, people are like, oh, this song sucks, right? Yeah. It could be an absolute banger of a song if you wait. But, people's attention spans are so crazy. It's just like, give it a second. Let it, let it cook, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing. It's tough. It's because people can create the same thing as you, and theirs is worse than yours, but the algorithm might just not, push your thing. That's the hardest thing as a creator.
That's how it is.
That's it. That's so crazy that you said that, because that's so true. I don't. The attention span is funny, right? Because I don't think people's we always have that caveat, like, yeah, I think people's attention span is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. But I don't really think that's the truth. I think just so much diversity of just going out with content creators, new social media platforms popping up, new mindsets, new thoughts, new engineering, new AI. So I think it should diversify it, so now people can zero in on what they actually like instead of having like 4 options. Now it's like they have hundreds, thousands. So I think it's just more so because somebody sit down and watch a whole season of Game of Thrones in one day, and that's a long time. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, what is it?
Like what they like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you say.
I've never even seen that show. I'll be honest.
Same here.
I've seen it. I've seen the first season. I think the second. I can't remember how
touched it.
Great show,
but
I know you like it.
A lot of people love it. So it's just what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what that niche is. But I think that's why it's important to build a personal brand, right? Just as long as you build a brand that people enjoy and love, whether you're a part of it, like in the front face of it, or you're not, or you're behind the scenes where people don't know you. Like, as long as you build a brand that people enjoy and love, that's absolutely reputable, and people they're gonna tune in every time you drop something. But that could be a longer journey than you just trying to find a viral video. But I think if you do that, I think you'll have a better. You'll look back and be like, dang, like people really just enjoyed this. Like to this day, I don't know who created Geico, but we see the Geico lizard all the time. It's like, I know what that is. Like, I know what that is. So it's like figuring that out and seeing what that looks like is always an interesting thing when it comes to branding. And I think now with AI is coming out, that is literally the most important thing that anybody can do, is just figure out how to create a personal brand that kind of transcends to the next segment of what the creative looks like. But I want to move into, like, as a traveler, right? As a travel YouTuber, more specifically, like, where do you see yourself taking your career? Like, are there other places around the world that you want to explore and share with your audience, or is it more so just continue doing theme parks, and whatever new comes out, you're going to stay focused on that? Like, what does it look like for you? Let's say a year or two.
I would say like a blend of both, like doing theme parks, but also like traveling at the same time. So it's just kind of figuring out, like, what I want to go see, but also showcasing it at the same time, and something that, like, I think people will enjoy. Because not everything you're gonna do, everyone's gonna enjoy. You're gonna have people who don't like what you do. You're gonna have people who love what you do all the time. But for me, like, I've started, I try to plan things out. Try, it's the key word there. And do, like, oh, you know what, I want to travel to, maybe a couple different theme parks that aren't necessarily like everyone's spamming, Disney and Universal. Like, let me travel somewhere like Dollywood, or somewhere different where I can different Six Flags, or you name the theme park. Something that's different, where people are like, oh, there's not many videos on this. Like, let me watch this, and then you can bring in a different audience. People from different places around the world, different places around the country, and just kind of doing that, because the thing with, like, any niche, right, is if everyone's hammering the same content videos, it gets dull, right? Because no one's gonna watch someone who posts about this theme park and then watches me post about the same theme park with the same video, same thing. It's just like, well, I just watched him do it. Why am I gonna watch this person? Where if you bring something new to the table, people are like, oh, that's interesting, right? So trying to really travel to different places just to showcase, like, even like Hershey Park, you name it.
Good
where
one.
people
I
are
was
like,
gonna say
okay, where people are like, okay, he's not just a Florida theme park person. Where I can grab an audience in Pennsylvania, or grab an audience in California. But that's also a really cool thing, is like when you get into like the YouTube analytics, you can see like where your videos are like popping off like randomly. So like I'll see like 1 month I'll have crazy views in England, or I'll have crazy views in Tokyo. I'll have crazy views in. I've had like, I can't remember. Videos go crazy in Zimbabwe. like it's just
That's
like
that's crazy.
It's crazy, but yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like trying to break out of the I'll say Orlando, like norm of everyone just covering the same thing here, because I know like in Horror Nights starts in like 3 weeks here, and everyone's just gonna be hammering Horror Nights.
Yep.
So the Horror Nights content is gonna be crazy, right? So in that point, it's just like I've been saying, diversifying yourself, find that different point of view. But also, it's like, you know what? Everyone's focusing on this. If there's hundreds and hundreds of videos on this, why not, spend my money, take a trip, travel somewhere else, and showcase that? So that's what I'm really trying to get into, and see where that takes me. Hopefully, I would love to do this full time and travel, but again, that comes with a lot of hard work, dedication. Which I mean, I've done it, but it's also, I will say, the social media game. It's a lot of luck. It is a lot of luck, man. It's because you can put in the work, 24/7, and the videos could be crazy, bangers, you name it. It's just if the algorithm doesn't pick it up, it's not gonna. Because I've clicked on people's videos before, or swiped on TikTok, and I'm like, this is an awesome video. Why does it have 100 likes? Like this thing should have 100,000 likes. But yeah, just trying to differentiate myself from the big population of theme park and travel content creators.
Wow.
No, for sure. We'll be waiting for you to come up to Kings Island, and we'll do a video with you.
Yeah.
I've never been, so I'll let you know when I come up there. I'll come with me.
There we go. There we go. Video
good
idea.
Shit, LeBrain.
I know.
That's a good one.
I know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Kings Island's fun. I haven't been in a minute because they also
Holiday
have
World.
Holiday World, yeah, too.
Oh, that's the Holiday World's on my list.
Oh,
I've had a lot of people go up there.
We got two.
Hey, good stuff, TK.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't been to Holiday World in a long time, probably since like middle school.
Me neither, bro. I've been there forever.
No, shut up. You were there like 2 weeks ago.
I was.
That's cool.
Wait, is it okay? So I saw a video on Holiday World. I think it was Holiday World. Is it free drinks when you go there?
Hell yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
Okay, I saw like a
book it.
I saw a TikTok. Yeah, I'll book it. Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah.
My favorite is the Gatorade, because you could just get up there as much Gatorade and water as you want. So much fun.
Mine's the free parking.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That's elite. They got some decent rides though. Just don't ride the Raven, bro. You'll get a headache.
Really?
You get it's a terrible wooden ride, bro. Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah,
but I'll ride it.
Wooden.
We'll do. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Which one's not wooden?
Bro, there's a new one. I ain't gonna spoil it, bro. Y'all stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned, bro. Stay tuned.
Well, now I'm just gonna YouTube it.
Oh yeah, you can, but I want the audience too.
Okay, my fault.
See, up here.
My fault. That's on me.
Got you.
Mykel, you good? You keep going in and out.
Lagging, man.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah,
he ain't good. He ain't good. He down bad. He down bad.
Wrap it
up. Man, I can't control this.
Hey,
we ain't mad at you, man.
Nah, I am.
Oh, shit.
But I guess wrapping up, because I don't know how much we're gonna be able to hold Dear Mykel on, as his face just froze again. Any advice that you would give to people looking to start YouTube, whether that's travel YouTube, whether that's gaming YouTube, whether that's vlogging YouTube? Like, you talk a lot about just how the algorithm is all luck, which is 100% true. But any advice for people who are starting up or are kind of in the middle, anything that looking back on that you wish you would have done differently?
I would say the first thing is just hit record. Like, I remember the first video I was just so nervous, whatever. And it was, hit record. Post what you want to post. Your first couple of videos, editing is not going to be great. I mean, I guarantee you can look at the biggest creators in the world, like, Mr. Beast, all that stuff, right?
100%.
Their first videos 100%. Are probably horrible. Like, you look back at that, you're like, oh my God, that was awful. Right? It's just get over the nerves. The nerves suck. Hit record. I promise you'll feel a lot better after that.
Yeah.
Second thing I'd say is consistency. It's just because the more you're consistent, the more people are like, oh, this guy or girl is locked in. Like, they're, persistent on their craft. They want to, do well in this, and you're going to gravitate towards people. Bring something, new to your page, wherever it's, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Bring something different to where it's not like watching the same stuff over and over again that someone else has already created. Bring your own personality into it. I think it's the biggest thing, because people are going to latch on to your personality. People are going to latch on to who you are as a human. And that's how you create your community. You know, people can create their community off one video. People can create their community off, 1,000 videos. But I think that's the biggest thing. Because yeah, everyone can pop off on one video, right? You post one TikTok, it can hit 1 million views. It's, whatever. But it's the, people that are always going to be there for you when you have your videos, people who are always going to be commenting, people who are, your followers, stuff like that. It's creating that community who's always going to be there and support you, is a really, really big thing. I would say the biggest thing that I would, tell myself to begin with, if I was, talking to my younger self, not older self, younger self, would be just don't give a shit. Like, just put your head down, grind. Just don't give a shit about what people say to you, because everyone's gonna have their opinion on the internet, and you know yourself, like your worth, all this stuff, right? And people are gonna come at you in the comments, no matter what, right? People, the amount of comments I've gotten where I'm like, all right, dude, like whatever. Like, does it suck to look at and read? Yeah. But you know what? At the end of the day, forget about it. If you want to delete the comment, delete the comment. That makes you feel better, whatever. Now, sometimes I like to be petty, and I'll just respond to the comment, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And exactly, like Katie was the other day. But it's just, don't care. The internet's a big place. You're gonna have haters. Just deal with them. And at the end of the day, the reason probably why they're commenting is more so they have a problem with themselves rather than you.
Facts.
And so they're just going to take it out on you.
Nice.
I know, like, starting out, like, whatever people say on the internet, like TikTok nowadays, you look at the comments, people are like, oh, just put the, fries in the bag, right?
Yeah.
Just,
gets me every time.
Yeah, I always laugh at this. That's just hilarious. But, people comment stuff like, oh, you shouldn't have ever made this video. You're going to have people like that. Just ignore them. Keep doing you. If it's something you love, it'll work its way out. Just, put your head down and grind, because there's so many creators on every platform that are working just as hard, if not harder than you are. So just, put in the work, and it's, at the end of the day, once you see the results, it's very rewarding.
No,
because none of us expect anything to be like it. You want to just make some videos, whatever, and then you're getting great feedback. You get some bad feedback, whatever. It is what it is. But it's rewarding. I will say that.
Oh yeah, that's what I always tell TK. I'm like, all it takes is for one video to pop off, and then momentum swings.
It's just one video. I remember when I was doing the 24 hours Disney World, Disneyland, I posted a TikTok, just basically, it was in my truck, and was just like, hey, here's what I'm doing. Here's my thing. Here's the plan. Whatever. Just kind of posted. It was like, it's probably going to get a couple thousand views. Whatever. Put my phone away. Was just videoing for YouTube. Pulled my phone out about, an hour or two later. Had 85,000 views. I had 2,000 followers. Like I said, sometimes it's crazy. It's all about just,
wow,
and it's something, like I said, it's sometimes it's the videos you don't plan.
Yeah.
That just pop off. And that's like I always say, just hit record. Like, there's so many people who I know who are like, I have 37, videos in my drafts. Post them.
Yeah.
They're not helping you in your drafts, right? They're not going to help you in your drafts. They're just sitting there. They're just sitting there collecting dust. It doesn't matter. Just post them. Will some of them flop? More likely, yes, probably, just because it's how social media works. But you never know which one is going to pop off, and then your life changes, forever.
Yep. That's all it takes. Yeah. Mykel, you got anything to add on that? Or are you going to dip out on us again?
Before I dip out, hey man, listen, I can't control what's going on. The powers of big just getting to me right now. Hey, but listen, I want to move into the word of the week, right? I think guidance. I think TK picked a great word, and Cam really hit it on the head. I think any more add to it doesn't really make sense, but he gave everybody a freeze right now.
No,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. I just gave a thumbs up to TK.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I mean, Cam hit on the head, man. I think he pretty much did a step by step of what it looks like for anybody that's obviously aspiring to be a YouTuber, a content creator, or just an entrepreneur in general. When it comes to just obviously making videos, just press record, and put yourself in the future version of yourself that you see. Right, I think that's all the guidance that you can kind of attribute to if you want to actually be embarking this. It's an interesting one. It's not an easy one. It's fruitful if you're able to continue to do it and be consistent and find the right people that want to gravitate towards you. So there's really not more to say on the guidance because I think he hit on the head. But also I would say, surround yourself with great people that want to see you win as well. I think that's a really great tribute. If you do it by yourself, it's going to be a lot of up and down roads, but at least you don't feel like you're stuck in a corner because people that that's in the corner with you. So you find your way, if you can, and connect with other people. Go out. Like Cam said, the benefit of being a military brat, we're forced to kind of find new people, right? We're forced to kind of see what it looks like. Like, I just feel like talking to somebody today, randomly. Like we just would do it. Whether it's a good interaction or not, right? Like it's just we're so used to it from an early age that it's different. But getting out of your comfort zone is the growth that you're looking for, right? They say the work that you're looking for is in the work that you're avoiding. So make sure that you stay grinding on that, stay passionate, stay inspired by what you want to do, and surround yourself with people that's like-minded, and I think you'll be all right. So, but yeah, Cam, I appreciate you, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on, and now that we locked in, we can always find another way to go down to Orlando and do some great content with you. So, yeah, man, I think you wrapped it up. I guess we can obviously want to shout out your socials so that everybody can follow you and stay in touch with you, so we can continue following your journey. So, can you shout out your socials for us, brother?
Yeah, everything is gonna be Cam's Travels. That's all my social media, and I just want to say appreciate y'all boys for having me on. This has been fun.
Appreciate you, TK. What's your socials, brother?
You already know. It's your boy TKD2 Gaming. Subscribe to the YouTube channel at TKD2 Gaming. Also, follow me on Twitter, never the X, at TKD2 Gaming. Instagram _TKD2 Gaming. It's been a pleasure. I've been rocking with Cam for forever, bruh. A little quick story, bruh. We had a basketball camp, bruh, at Murray State. We was all playing and whatnot. Cam would go out there. This man looked at me one time, bruh. I was like, bro, pass you the ball. He was like, man, pass you the ball. Man, go get the rebound. I was like, hey. Cam was a shooter, bro. So me and Cam been locked in for life, bro. Y'all go follow my boy, bro. But it's my
that was a fun trip. That was a fun trip.
That was a good time. Good times.
Just put the bags and fries, bro.
You can follow me at
the fact that y'all two like that shows me shit. That's all I can say. I just know. I'm telling you, Cam, that dude right there, he's a problem.
I'm a menace.
He's a problem, bro.
Hey, don't worry about me. I am dangerous, but
hey, man,
I'm gonna go ahead and talk. No. I want to go. Save the best for last.
It's your show, man.
Yeah, I know. It's your boy, Dear Brankston. First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to my boy, Dear Siege, who couldn't be here tonight. Y'all make sure to go follow Dear Siege on Instagram, Twitter, not the Facebook, because his mom always be creeping and commenting on his Facebook. But y'all go follow him. But never the Snapchat. He get in trouble. But man, y'all can go follow me on LeBranks on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Still trying to work on my TikTok since my other one got banned. I'm kind of sour about that. But don't worry, it's a work in progress. But that's all my socials.
I believe that shit.
I know. Freaking all my followers gone down the drain.
No, bro. It's fucking wild. You was building that shit too.
I know, I was. But also, we got a voicemail number. Don't forget about that. That number is 859-363-5365. Go ahead and call that. Wait for the very long dial tone to dial down. You hear my beautiful voice. Go ahead and leave a comment, a question that you have for any of us on the show. Who's your favorite cast member or why it is not TKD2 Gaming. But again, that number is 859-363-5365. Mykel, I'm going to pass the mic over to you, my friend.
That was lovely.
I know.
Good handoff. Great handoff.
That was a great one.
No.
Fashion brand, what I'm doing with that, DearMykel. On a video shoot right now, we're in the process, getting things wrapped up, getting edited so I can, obviously put them out. So we got that more merch coming out. with the fashion brand. So I'm excited about that. You follow our official podcast show at Dear Radio Show on all social medias platforms. To make sure you're tapped in with us, obviously stay tapped in with the voice phone dial as well on Dear Radio Show. We're excited to have these guests on. They're blessings with their presence. So it's been super fun for us. We got a lot more in store that we're editing right now, so we haven't put it out in a while, but we're definitely still working, still going up. And I'm excited for everybody to see the new episodes that we have coming in store. So again, I hope everybody had a great week. I hope you have a great week. I hope you had a great day, great night. And we'll see you same time next week. Peace.
Yes, sir. Peace.